world-renowned theoretical physicist. Michio Kaku, he is the author of the book Quantum Supremacy. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. So what do you think of these theories about the drones sniffing out potentially radioactive material?
Well, in my opinion, this whole crisis took place actually in September of last year. At that point, the government made a historic decision to make it legal for people who own a drone to fly them at night. Before, there were restrictions on the use of flying drones, but after that September decision by the government, everybody began to say, I have a drone. This is going to create a stampede. I can impress my friends. I can shoot drones out there. And that's what happened. And then the government made it worse by saying, A, that these things are harmless, but B, they don't know where they come from or what they are. How do you know that something is harmless unless you know what it is and where it came from? So I think this crisis is self-inflicted. It's basically the government shooting itself in the foot, realizing, oh my God, we opened the gates. A whole stampede of amateurs are now flying these drones out there at night. And the government doesn't want to admit that they are in the process actually at fault in terms of creating this confusion.
Really interesting. What do you make specifically, though, of the theory by some that the drones could be, sniffing out radioactive material from the ground?
I doubt it. Radioactive radium, for example, is only found commercially in very small quantities, and the radiation doesn't go very far. You're talking about alpha rays and beta rays, which only go a few feet. And so there's simply not enough radium to alert people that there's a danger involved. And just realize that the aliens, if there are up there, probably have their own supply of radium. They don't need to use the radium that's found in trace quantities here on the planet Earth for medical reasons.
What do you make of the fact that the House Intel Committee got a briefing behind closed doors, right? It was one that was done in secret. Do you think that's also helping to fuel the conspiracies?
Definitely. I think the government's trying to cover up the fact that they bungled it. They don't want to admit the fact that they let the cat out of the bag, and all of a sudden these drones are being flown by amateurs by the thousands, and the government bears some responsibility for that. So I think the government is trying to find ways of covering its butt and basically disguising the fact that this is a self-created crisis. It didn't have to be this way. They didn't have to allow the unregulated use of drones at night.
Yeah. And you think what would you think? If you were advising, would you tell them time to reverse that policy?
I think that these drones should be regulated. Yeah. There's no reason why people can't have fun. But if they have fun right next to an Air Force base or right next to a commercial airlines base, you're going to have people saying that we're going to shoot them down.
Yeah.
So I think this has to be regulated. And right now, the gates are wide open. Anyone who wants to can buy a drone, and they too can say, yes, I see flying saucers in my backyard.
Yeah. Dr. Michio Kaku, thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.